Can you zoom into... Oh. What? Ah, shit!
Yep, that's my friend Ceranovis.
Hey.
She's a moderator in my streams, and this is her very first time playing The Long Dark. And trust me, it becomes obvious pretty quickly that she has absolutely no idea what she's doing.
How do I get water? Where is the water?
While she normally plays games like Stardew Valley and Date Everything, the only reason she agreed to this survival game is because I told her there's a Polaroid camera she can find. In real life, she loves photography, so that immediately caught her attention. The problem? She'll need to travel from the beginner-friendly Mystery Lake all the way to the far reaches of Sunder Pass, a region filled with timber wolves, dangerous terrain, and countless ways to get herself into trouble. I ran this myself and did it in 5 days on Interloper, so I'm giving her 10 days on the Voyager difficulty. This might sound like plenty of time, but for someone completely new to Great Bear Island, it's a serious challenge.
Die, bitch.
But this video isn't about laughing at Sarah when she makes mistakes. It's more about seeing how The Long Dark teaches its rules, communicates them to the player, and how those rules are interpreted by someone experiencing the game for the first time. That's why I can't be the one taking on this challenge. Instead, I'll be observing from the sidelines, clipboard in hand, paying close attention to her decisions, encounters with environmental hazards, and ability to navigate the world.
Don't break. Ah, fuck.
Now, without further ado, let's drop her into Mystery Lake and see how she does. As she gets her bearings and learns the basic controls, her first task will be to find shelter, followed closely by clothing and food to keep herself well nourished for her first night on Great Bear Island. It appears she is somewhat on the right track by first collecting sticks and acorns. She comes to a slow realization, however, that she's getting a bit cold and still doesn't have anywhere to warm up. Lucky for her, she got a pretty good spawn location. It's very close to arguably the best home base in the region, as she unknowingly makes her way over to the camp office. She was pretty confused about the sticks.
So when I was clicking on it, I mean, to be fair, I wasn't looking that closely. I did not immediately notice an option to pick up a stick. I had to harvest it. Okay, I think I didn't even see the small sticks. It was so subtle.
As the camp office comes into view, she plays around with her mechanics a bit more and realizes that a stone she picked up can be aimed and thrown in self-defense.
That's cool. Like that.
Now that she's in the safety of inside, she knows that she must pick up everything she sees right off the bat, only to determine later if it's of use. So on her scurry about the cabin, she finds a ton of good loot, such as running river oats, which is good for 8 entire bowls of 350-calorie porridge. She also found a lot of newspaper to start fires with, broth, and various medical supplies. She then managed to get her first ever fire going, which is a feat in itself. She then tried to boil some water, which is a little bit more difficult than originally anticipated. Of course, as a new TLD player, you'd assume that going out to grab snow is necessary before bringing it to a boil. But in this game, you can easily select the boil water option on any cooking container that's on the stove while the fire is going. The game then takes the liberty of putting snow in your container as if you went out to grab it yourself.
Oh, I think I have to go scoop some snow. How do I equip the can? So if I can't bring the snow inside, how am I supposed to boil it?
After watching her struggle for a bit, I let her in on the secret of how to boil water, as I knew we weren't getting anywhere fast if she couldn't do one of the most important parts of survival. Since The Long Dark doesn't have a dedicated tutorial in the survival mode sandbox, this is definitely one thing that the game doesn't communicate well at all. And before you say, well, the story mode Wintermute acts as a tutorial, this is true, but not everyone that buys the game will be jumping into that before survival mode. As she finally gets her water boiled and plenty of food to last her a day or so, she leaves the camp office in search of a way out of the Mystery Lake region. The way into the next region, Forlorn Muskeg, is just a short hike away by following the train tracks. But she doesn't do this. She instead crosses the train tracks and heads down into the forest of rolling hills. Along her way, as she attempted to start a fire to warm up, she sprained an ankle on the hill. Not knowing how to fix it, she hobbled on, eventually coming across the trapper's cabin. While inside, she figures out how to see her sprain and what she needs to fix it, but doesn't understand why she can't just bandage herself from this menu. She does, however, manage to find a way to bandage herself from her inventory, but neglects to take anything for the pain. I think she forgot to take them, but I like to think she's just really tough. She gathers anything else she sees, one of those things not being the hunting rifle hanging right in front of her. Also, she didn't want to mess around with the safe either. So with a bit more food in hand, she heads out to continue her quest. Interestingly enough, she heads back towards the camp office, but makes a quick turn to hug the rightmost wall in order to guide her. As she was doing this, she luckily just misses the transition cave into the mountain town region. While that region is great for noobs because of the abundance of houses to loot, it's definitely not the correct way to Sunder Pass. By sticking to the wall, she makes it back to the railroad, where she then slips through the tunnel and comes out the other side into the Forlorn Muskeg region. As the sun gets lower, her only real chance of survival is either the train car in the middle of this region or the maintenance shed, which is pretty far into the broken railroad region. She follows the tracks along and does come across the train car. Here she lights the fire to warm herself up. While she waits, she boils some water and prepares to head out once again. And by the time she reaches the broken railroad transition, the sun has almost fully sunk. She follows the tracks in the new region until she reaches a roadblock. The route then takes her on a detour down onto the pond. Here, what she needs to do is go to the right up on the hill and cross the river via a tree bridge. At this point, she is not well equipped to be out in the dark, and with every minute, she loses more condition. She then mistakenly goes down into the dead-end river section of the pond, her condition dwindling, and the wind blowing way too much to start a fire. This is where her body gives in, and she fades into the long dark.
0 days. Nice.
With her first attempt being more successful than I had initially anticipated, before her second run, I sent her a wealth of the long dark survival knowledge, including my very own beginner's guide, as well as the online community-made maps, both of which you can find down below in the description. By utilizing these resources, her next run started out even better. She luckily got a spawn in Mystery Lake that was pretty close to the last one, meaning she knew exactly where she needed to go. Once she made it to the camp office, she once again gathered what she could, this time finding a couple skill books. She discovered that these skill books, when read to completion, grant skill points in their respective skill. These are found in the skill level submenu. To elaborate, with each additional skill you progress in, various bonuses will apply to that skill. Like when you reach fire starting level 3, you no longer need to use tinder plugs when starting a fire. Or when you reach cooking level 5, spoiled food no longer makes you sick. Unfortunately for Sarah, with only 10 days to travel, she might not have a lot of time for reading. Unless she, I don't know, gets sick or perchance seriously injured. Either way, she pockets them for now. With a lot more to prepare in this run, she spends the rest of the day in the camp office, where she manages her inventory and crafts a bit of a plan for the next day. As the sun rises on day 2, she takes her time leaving the camp office. Her plan for the day consists of going back to the trapper's cabin. As she learned from last time, the trapper's cabin had a bunch of good loot, and to survive her long trek into the broken railroad region, she needed all that she could get. Plus, I did tell her that she missed the rifle in the last run, so she really wanted to see if it was there again. Unfortunately, to her disappointment, the rifle didn't spawn this time around. She did, however, manage to crack the safe this time, which gave her a few rounds of for now useless ammo, but she did get the best sweater in the game. Looting and attempting to set herself up for the run came at quite the cost of time. After fixing up several clothing items, she realized she spent most of the day in the cabin, so here will be a good place to spend the night. She lights the fire with her already lit torch, which is a great match-saving method, and lays down, hoping for good weather in the morning. With a couple days gone already, and not even one region traversed, she's been playing it maybe a bit too safe. She knows now that she'll have to travel through several regions rather quickly, so as soon as she wakes, she doesn't waste any time and heads right back out into the wild. She comes across Max,
Aw, poor guy.
and then finds her way once again to the brutally cold region of Forlorn, Muskeg. Luckily, just as she becomes hypothermic, she reaches the derailed train car. Here she does a little bit more inventory management as she warms up. With a little bit more daylight to work around this time, she opts to collect some very useful cattails around the frozen marshland. It was all fun and games until she had a bit of a stumble.
Don't break. Ah, fuck. Damn, that broke fast. No, no, no. No! No! Fuck, fuck. Why is it so fast? How did I get over? No.
Falling in the water like this could easily be a death sentence. Had she decided to press on, soaking wet all the way to the broken railroad, she undoubtedly would have become hypothermic and froze to death long before reaching safety. Thankfully, she went right back to the train car, bolstering the fire, and caught a couple Zeds while she waited for her clothes to dry. By the time she awakes, it's now late into the evening. Not wanting to attempt a broken railroad in the dark, since that didn't go so great last time, she takes less of a risk by sleeping in the train car. She of course made sure to stoke the fire and cook up a jar of broth before going to bed. Luckily the night wasn't too bad and she doesn't wake up dead. She wastes no time and hauls ass across the frozen expanse. Even with the torch in hand, she quickly becomes hypothermic, and once in Broken Railroad, she stops to set down a fire. Now with the community-made maps, she quickly identifies where she went wrong last time, and makes amends by going around the pond and over the fallen tree. Just up past the train engine is where she comes across her first wolf. This caught her so off guard that she didn't follow the rules of engagement as outlined in my guide. But what she does instead is A. Turned it around the other way, B. Stopped to cook a meal, or C. She threw the torch at it. Yeah, she threw the torch at it.
Oh, fuck.
While this can sometimes work in scaring it away, it's not 100% effective like the drop and aim method. Luckily, she reacts quick enough to draw another flare from her pack, and this time implementing the correct method to rid the immediate vicinity of this evildoer. After that close encounter, she finds herself down at the maintenance shed. While inside, she comes across many a good things, including but not limited to plenty of food, a jerry can of oil, some decent clothing, and some delicious ready-to-drink toilet water. As she settles down for the evening, she cooks up fish, harvests some clothing, and just as she's crafting some more tinder plugs, the aurora hits.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, it flashes different colors.
Her enthusiasm for the aurora was really refreshing to see. Even though it's an event I have witnessed 1,000 times, it's a great reminder that this game is more than just a simple winter survival. While she did understand that it was the aurora that was powering the building, I wasn't sure if she knew about the wolves becoming all-powerful beings during it, which I wasn't about to tell her just in case she wanted to go outside at night. Luckily for her though, she in fact did not want to go exploring outside, since she now knows that there's wolves out there. One cool thing that the aurora does that isn't super deadly however, is allow you to discover glimpses into the past via buffer memories, just like Sarah discovered here on this computer.
Ooh. Hello? Ooh, Mr. Dennis.
These add a little bit of extra world building and gives you a better sense of what the world was like here before the beginning of the Quiet Apocalypse. She absolutely ate this shit up. After enjoying the simple pleasures that the aurora has to offer, she calls it quits and crawls into her warm office bed. She wakes on day 5 with a game plan. She had seen on the map that behind the maintenance shed, there's a hunting lodge on the cliffside. So without hesitation, she headed out, hoping to finally find a weapon that she could use to defend herself. With torch in hand, she hiked down past the pond and somehow managed not to run into any wolves along the way. Before heading into the lodge, she harvested so many reishi mushrooms to use for tea later. Once inside, the good finds in the lodge started out slow, with some pain pills, a hat, socks, but then the big guns started coming out. Those were in the form of some really nice clothing items, like cargo pants and climbing socks, which she actually couldn't pick up.
I don't know. No. Nice. It's cute. Hello? Hello? Sir? They're fake. They're fake. Oh, did it go for a sec? No! I wanted the socks. What if I use the customization mode? Will that give me the socks? Yeah, it was the fucking rug.
With the upstairs cleared, she headed back down into the kitchen, where this time, the real big gun shows up.
Ho ho ho, come to mama.
At last, she finally has a firearm, but before she leaves, she finds a ton of calorie-dense food, more rifle rounds, this beautiful festive sweater, a climbing rope, and a recipe card for the Briar House pie. With all of these goodies collected, she slips out the back and is on the move. She ties her rope to the climbing rock, where she can then descend back down to the maintenance shed. As she was just about to climb down though, she noticed a couple of wolves stalking around, as well as a large freaking bear. She plays the pacifist role and waits for them to walk away. She then somehow gets back to the shed without running into any of them. For the rest of the evening, she makes the most of her time by cleaning her rifle, thus bringing up the condition. As she was about to lay down and rest after that eventful day, she figured now would be the best time to try her Manta sleep mask. Crafted with premium materials, this mask is designed to help her enjoy the full benefits of a truly restful night's sleep. Its total blackout design leaves no room for light to enter, allowing her to stay asleep throughout the night, even through the glow of the aurora. The Pro Sleep Mask is just one of several premium options available from Manta Sleep. Their lineup also includes specialty designs like the Silk Sleep Mask, crafted for a softer, more luxurious feel, and the Sound Sleep Mask, which combines light blocking comfort with built-in audio for a more immersive sleep experience. No matter your sleep style or budget, Manta Sleep offers a mask designed to help you get deeper, more restful sleep wherever you are. Click the link below in the description to check out Manta Sleep's premium sleep mask selection, and make sure to use code Grapenut for 10% off your order at checkout. Thanks Manta Sleep for sponsoring today's video. Now let's check back in with Sarah, as she wakes up from the best night's rest she's ever had. Today's plan consists of following the train tracks out of this region, and into the Far Range branch line. This stretch of road will take her into the Far Territory regions, but the wolf she had encountered on day 4 had other plans for her.
Oh, fuck. Fuck! Shit! Ah! Slash! Fuck! Shit! I'm never leaving this place.
She stumbles back into the shed with her ego hurt more than her open wound, but thankfully she had all the medical supplies she needed to treat the gash. After that encounter, her health was down to 50%, and of course she felt uneasy about trying to head out again that day, in fear of another wolf attack, which would definitely end her most successful attempt yet. So while she wasn't tired just yet, she spent the remainder of the day mulling about, crafting some tea, and enjoying all that being cooped up inside has to offer. This allowed her to finally read some research books that she's been carrying around, but while doing so, she managed to burn some food that she'd been cooking on the stove. Yet another important lesson learned in time management, and then it was off to bed to fully heal from today's adventures. Now back to full health, she only has several days left to get the camera in Sundered Pass. With all this time spent inside lately, if she were on any higher difficulty, she probably would be on the verge of contracting cabin fever. But since there's a 50-day grace period on Voyager, she won't have to worry about that at all. Now knowing that the wolf that had done her in was still outside, she quickly equipped her rifle and walked outside to face her fiercest foe.
On the map. Can you zoom into... Oh. What? Ah, shit! Ah, shit! Oh, shit. No.
Even though she didn't quite pass the QuickTime event, the wolf got bored and let her go in poor condition. Slowly, she limped back to the shed, her body in pain. She patched herself up, but was again unwilling to move until she slept and healed some condition. So instead, she spent the rest of the day in what now feels like a routine, fixing up clothing, cooking some grub, and researching some books. But now with only a couple days left to finish her mission, she couldn't have this wolf hold her up any longer. It was here that she devised the most devious plan to get revenge on the wolf that has caused her so much pain.
Yeah, maybe I'll just go shoot him.
So first thing when she wakes up, she heads out, torch in hand, in an attempt to collect her rifle, as she didn't realize that she dropped it during the attack the day prior.
How? Where? Oh, shit! Fuck off! Okay, there's my blood. Okay. So nerve-wracking. I don't like this. I like my cozy management games.
Thankfully, the jump scare tactic didn't work this time, and she was able to grab her rifle and head up the hill, but not before being spotted once again.
Oh. Die, bitch.
Unmoved by her victory, she makes her way across the sketchy broken bridge.
This looks safe. I'm just waiting for wolves to pop out and get me. Anything fun in here? Granola? Oh. Hello, sir or ma'am. Okay. Is that wolf? That looks like a wolf. Nope. He ran away. Ah! Shit! What the fuck? Oh, that scared the shit out of me. I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, I missed. Oh my god, it's so hard to hit. Oh my god. There we go. At least stay still so I can kill you. God.
Now rolling through this region like thunder, she finally makes it out a broken railroad and into the Far Range branch line, which will connect her to the DLC regions. This transition region is one of the most lengthiest in the game. Between the train tunnel and the next proper base location, which is the train station and transfer pass, there are only a few various caves, rail tunnels, or open train cars to take shelter in. If there were to be a blizzard while she was out in the cold, she'd have to scurry to find a place to hide away, which here isn't always easy. But for now, she also has this incredibly long tunnel to trek through, and when she comes to what seems like the end, she finds a door that leads her to an office where she grabs the miner's flashlight. She then makes it out onto the short trestle.
It's so pretty. Where would it have popped me out if I'd taken that door? Like down there? I'm moving so slow. Is it the wind? Surfeit trestle? Where are you, bitch? An energy drink. I'm just gonna walk backwards. I don't trust wolves.
She then decides to head back into the office to warm up, as well as do a little bit of inventory management, which we all know is the most important part of this game. After about an hour of this, she goes down the staircase, this time taking her out to the ravine below the trestle. Here, she is quickly met by the ravine greeting party.
This one just hates me.
After committing cold-blooded murder on ice, she has nowhere else to go but an open cave on the opposite side of the ravine. She dips in to see where it takes her. With this cave trip being fairly linear, it led her out and around the rockfall that was blocking the path on the trestle. Now back on track, she continues her hero's journey. Luckily, the rest of the walk through the Far Range branch line was pretty uneventful, which in this game is a good thing. As she follows the tracks through a dark tunnel, she comes out into the DLC region hub of Transfer Pass.
Transfer Pass.
This hub region allows you to access the zone of contamination, Forsaken Airfield, and Sarah's destination, Sundered Pass. While it would be great to watch Sarah take on the zone of contamination, she only has 2 days left to obtain the camera, so the only thing on her mind is getting warm and cozy in the train station.
There we go. Can. I don't know where the can goes in here. Love that it just disappears into your mess of an inventory.
She mistakenly slept in a little bit too long, giving her less time to get out of this hub region. But in return, she was greeted with lovely weather for her trip, and with the help of the community-made maps, she had no problem identifying where the rope was to get into Sundered Pass.
Ah, there we go.
From the top of the rope climb to the entrance of Sundered Pass is quite a long trek. Luckily, the weather stayed consistent enough for her to continue gaining ground. And once inside Sunder Pass, she manages to hug the leftmost wall, knowing that there may be some wolves lurking about. The last thing she wants to do while this close to her goal is to encounter a pack of dreaded timber wolves. She makes it partly through the region, ending up at the last lonely cabin. This is just below the path to the summit, so as she enters, fairly exhausted from the previous rope climb, her final tasks for the night were to repair some more clothing and snuggle up beside the fire. On her 10th and final day to reach the summit, she warms up some tea and heads out for her final ascent. She climbs up the first of 2 ropes, which brings her up beside a transition cave. Here she enters just to check out a little bit and recover some warmth in the process. This last climb, however, has zapped her battery for the final walk and climb left ahead. With the day melting away quickly, she heads back out of the cave and finds herself at the edge of the cliffside, with only a little rickety rope bridge between her and her final climb.
It's fine. This is fine.
With ease, she takes it slow, but starts to gain confidence when she realizes that the single boards that have fallen out of the bottom won't make her fall to her death. Now at the base of the final ascent, but almost fully exhausted, she resorts to chugging her Go energy drink. This gives her the strength and momentum she needs to ascend the rope and find herself at the base of the second pillar. It was in this little area outside the weather station that she even managed to snipe a ptarmigan.
Try to get a ptarmy. Oh, did it actually work? I am so sorry. But I am hungry.
She then proceeded to find herself walking up the steps to complete her well-fought mission. From her first death in Broken Railroad to seeking out revenge against the entire wolf population of Great Bear Island, she has now become a true survivor in the long dark. She struts into the weather station and finds her prize waiting for her.
Oh, Bazinga.
She was so excited to use her camera that she ran right outside to test it out.
Fuck.
Wow.
Hit a great shot.
Oh, much better.
There we go. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Am I exhausted? Yes, but I got pictures.
After having a little fun, she had to rest up, but was awakened by the aurora late that night. This graced her with yet another great photo op. The next morning, she was given the achievement, "You made it," confirming that she had completed her challenge within the 10-day goal.
Dark, but that's alright.
Hey, you made it. And I didn't start.
While I'm streaming The Long Dark, I always get asked what my biggest tips for new players are. And well, my biggest tip is to utilize the online resources, which I think we've all seen proof that it works here today. Once Sarah was able to clearly identify where the transitions were, she was able to plan routes from a safe location to another safe location with the confidence of a TLD veteran. Now I will say that these maps, especially the ones with spoilers, are not for everyone. I understand that some people play for the feeling of exploration and discovery, which is more than okay. But for those looking to set personal bests or even try out a higher difficulty, I would strongly recommend using all resources at your disposal. Now, where should Sarah go next?